Son. Yeah. Share that. Gotta watch them too, cause um, see how now they put this on here. See, I said at the bottom to my referral link. So sometime I had to go to YouTube and like clear that out the chat box. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's up. Okay. Double check and make sure. Yeah, it's playing. Yeah, to make sure that link shit went in there. All right. First and foremost, we would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, and I'm the brother Yashamath, and to my right, I'm the brother Nah. All right, and what we want to get into today, all right, with GMS Mississippi Camp, and what we want to get into today is the hidden treasure, which Yahweh Shema Shai, has, hidden this truth, okay, from amongst, the masses, but has revealed it, until, his men in these times. All right. And we're in the time now as we, have been allowed access to this hidden treasure. It's making us become a treasure ourselves, man. Okay, because the Lord is doing a mighty work, as we have access to this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding, this favor, the mysteries, okay, and start to apply these things in our day to day, we become, a hidden treasure in the earth, the hopeful elect. All right, men. Now let's read that. Matthew 13. Yeah, Matthew 13. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, starting at verse 44. Yep. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a treasure hid in a field. Yep. That which when a man has found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he had and buyeth that field. Yeah, so we have to understand the kingdom, is likened unto a field. I mean, the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hid in the field. Now, the field is like what? The earth. When you go into the field, the concept of the field. All right, even going into the wheats and the tares, that parable. All right, it compares, the harvest. Okay, the wheat and tares sown in the field. Well, that field is the earth. Okay, so when you read that again, what you got the word for field? Y'all looking up in blue. Okay, can I read that again? There's a couple words I want to look at. Yeah, read that again. Okay, I got you. Matthew chapter 13, verse 44. Again, it says, again, the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hid in a field. Yeah, hid in the field. Treasure hid in the field. The kingdom of heaven. Okay, so it's a treasure that's hid in the earth, and everyone doesn't have access to this treasure, man. Everyone in the earth doesn't have access. That's why it says hid. Get that word hid real quick. I got that word hid here in the blue letter. Lay it out for you. Strong's G 2928. Crypto. 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 And that's where you get that word cryptocurrency. The digital currency that everyone's, investing in, all up in horns about cryptocurrency. Well, crypto goes into what? Read it. This is well, you got three different definitions. One of them, the first one on the outline of biblical usage, it says to hide, conceal, to be hid. Yep, go ahead. The second one says escape notes, and the third one says metaphorically, yeah. Metaphorically, to conceal that it may not become known. Yeah, so this wisdom is sealed, all right, off, to the masses that it may not be known. Like the gospel that we're preaching, there's people that sealed off from understanding, the good news, the gospel. Okay, to not to understand the kingdom, all right, that's going to be established after this kingdom is destroyed. Well, there's people, all right, that the Lord has sealed off from not being able to come into this, man. This gospel is crypto, okay, to the masses, man. It's hidden, it's sealed. All right, but for the hopeful elect, we've been blessed to find this hidden treasure, man. Okay? Yeah.
I got something else for you.
Yeah, bro.
This is under the strong definition. It says that primary verb to conceal properly by covering, hide self, to keep secret or secretly.
Yeah, so when you go into, matter of fact, you in Matthew 13, right?
Come.
So go up to verse 10, verse 9.
Verse 9.
Yep.
Come. Who had ears?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Come, this is Matthew 13 and 9. It says, who had ears to hear, let him hear.
Yeah, who have ears to hear, let him hear. Okay? Who have ears to hear, let them hear. So everyone doesn't have the ears to hear, all right, to partake in the treasures, man.
But okay. Some of them hear, but they some of them have ears, but they still don't hear it.
Yep.
Some have eyes, but they still don't see.
Mm-hmm.
So this will back you up on that point.
Yeah, because they can hear the prophets and Jake not deaf. Okay, they can see us. Yeah, they can see what's going on in the earth, but they still, all right, can't link it to this because it's hidden from. They can't link it to a new kingdom, all right, being born in the earth. Like they can't look at the news and see with these wars with, the MOTB being established, all right, the divisions. See, it's not given to Jake to link that, all right, to a new kingdom. Okay, then it's a kingdom for Israelites. You got Israelites that can't see that the Lord is ushering in a kingdom for Israel. All right. But only the hopeful elect can see these things. And how Shai is going to go into that. Go, you got it, bro.
Okay. The second part, it says that which when a man.
No, go back to read verse 10.
Verse 10. God, he said lock it.
Yeah.
Matthew chapter 13. I'm gonna reverse verse 9 and 10. It says, who had ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables?
Why speakest thou to them in parables? Who is them? The masses. Okay? Mm-hmm. The parable is like a dark saying. You would use a parable. Okay, and the parable would have to be broken down or expounded on. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Verse 11. It says, he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
It is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. Or rulership, like I'm giving you the mystery of the rulership that's to come. Okay? And this wasn't given to everyone. Go ahead.
It says, but to them it is not given.
But unto them it is not given. So it's not given to everyone to have the mysteries, okay, of rulership, the next rulership to come. All right, the throne of David. Everyone's not privy to those mysteries, man. All right, to really, all right, grasp what's being said in the scriptures, man. All right, here it is. We treasure these things, but to the masses, hey, it's a thing that doesn't even, like scriptures say, real quick in Matthew 11, I think 16. Okay.
11, 16.
Yeah, because to us this is precious, but to the masses of our people, all right, this is a thing of no value, man. But to us, it's a thing of great value. Yep, you got Matthew 11 and 16.
Matthew 11, chapter 16, it says, but whereunto shall I liken this generation?
Yep.
It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows.
Yep, like the children sitting in market calling to the fellows, because you go into Eastern custom. All right, you will have the children, they will mimic, the ceremonies of the adults, whether it be a wedding or a funeral. So in the wedding, which was festive, they would imitate, the spirit of festivities. All right. And what you will have some children who didn't want to participate. Okay. And what was going on. So here it is, you have the prophets, we're singing this new song. All right, the good news, a song of, the blessings to come. Okay, us being married back to, all right, Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, joined back to our Father. So we're singing, like a wedding song. But to a lot of our people, we get no reaction from them, man. You got it, bro.
Con. Verse 17, it says, and saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced.
You know, we haven't gotten a reaction out of you. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Yeah.
It says, for John came neither eating nor drinking, and they said he had the devil.
You jumped. Yeah, read 17. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. So like, I know I missed a piece of it.
Yeah, read 17 again.
Con 17 says, and saying, we have piped unto you, and yet and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented.
Lamented. Okay, so here it is, because the doctrine, we got the honey and the bitter, as we go into both facets of it, because you'll say they was going back to Eastern customs, the children will mimic the adults, whether a wedding feast or a funeral, and they will mimic, mourning. Well, in the scriptures, we go into when the good news, this new song is full of, the honey, but then it's the bitter, the straight gate that we have to go through. All right, the wicked in rulership explaining what the devil is doing. It's the bitterness of it. And here it is. Jake is not rejoicing, okay, in the promises that's on the way, or Jake is not lamenting for being under this wicked rulership, man. Okay, so here it is. As we've been given these treasures, all right, we understand the mysteries of the kingdom. Because you go back to get Matthew 13.
13.
Yeah, and read verse 12.
Come Matthew 13 in chapter 12, it says, for whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he...
Read again.
You said 12.
Yeah, read 12.
13 and 12, right?
Yeah, read 12.
Come. Matthew chapter 13, verse 12, for whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance, but whosoever hath not, for him shall be taken away, even that he hath.
Yeah, so the Lord has given us, these treasures, this wisdom, and as we tap into these treasures, we begin to abound, in this wisdom, in this understanding. We begin to apply it. We begin to live this thing, okay? But as our people, okay, who have not, they're just going to become more and more confused as prophecy play out, man. Here it is. We're increasing in understanding. We're growing and being comforted by this word. But our people, they're going to increase in confusion, man, because it wasn't given to them to have the hidden treasure, man. Because even when you go into, get that word mystery in verse
44.
No, in verse 11. It's the word mystery. Verse 11. Matthew 13, but verse 11.
13 and 11.
Yeah, when you say mysteries of the kingdom, get that word mystery.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Mysteries. I got you.
Strong's 3466. Mustadion.
Let's lock in this Mustadium outline of biblical usage. Hidden things, secret, mystery.
Go to definition B under section C.
B, section C.
Yeah, C.
Right. It says, of the Most High, the secret counsels which govern the Most High in dealing with the righteous, which are hidden from ungodly and wicked people, but plain to the Most High.
But plain, all right, unto the godly, which is us. Okay? So when you go into it, of the Most High, the secret counsel which govern the Most High in dealing with the righteous. Okay? So these hidden things are only revealed to those whom the Lord, all right, has predestined to be considered the righteous, man, which our righteousness is of Yahweh Shai. And that's why part of the hidden treasures is to understand that, look, we have to be conformed to Yahweh Shai. That's that's the play. That's why we're here. We've been given this grace to conform to Yahweh Shai. And see, that's the mystery that Jake can't figure out. See, Jake's still trying to, economically find their way out. Jake is still trying to, religiously find their way out. Politically trying to find their way out. Jake think that they can get just a bunch of education and be good. Nah, man, that's not gonna work. The only thing that's gonna work is Yahweh Shai. That's the only thing that's going to be effective, okay, in getting us back to the glory, all right, with the Father, man. Everything outside of it is failure. So Jake ain't figured this mystery out yet, man. You got it, bro.
Because they said all those things like degrees and college and all this of this world.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talking about how about Shemal Shai, of course they're gonna get to a point where they'll understand because they're more tapped in on on the worldly aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. And you can get that in First Peter chapter 2, all right, and you can read verse 6.
First Peter chapter 2 and verse 6, it says, "Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, Behold, I shall lay in Zion a chief
Cornerstone.
cornerstone."
Mm-hmm.
Throw it, bro. A chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he had believed on him shall not be confounded.
Yeah, so Yahweh Shai, that chief cornerstone, the foundation in which we build. Okay, then it said precious. We're going to get that. You read verse 7. Go ahead.
Verse 7, it says, "Unto you, therefore, which believe he is precious."
Yeah, unto you, therefore, which believe. You see, faith gives us access to this treasure, man. We believe. We believe what's written. And that belief activates the access we have to these hidden treasures, man, which is this wisdom, this understanding, man. Okay, go ahead.
Con. Verse
You still in verse 7, yeah.
Verse 7, Con. But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made of the head of the corner.
Come, so just get this word precious, Bible for sure. You see? And we're going to see how us, having access to the treasure is making us precious, man. Go ahead.
Strong's G 5092. Timei. Timei.
All right. In the Greek, it's Timei, but you got it, bro.
Con. On the outline of biblical usage, it says a valuing by which the price is fixed.
Go ahead. Read definition 2 and 3. I mean 2 definition A. So read that definition, then that one.
Okay, con. Outline of biblical usage, section 2 and 2A. It says honor which belongs or is shown to one.
Honor which belongs or is shown to one. And that's why the elect have a particular reverence, a particular honor towards Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is precious to us. We see the value of Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, go ahead.
The 2A, it says of the honor which one has by reason followed my rank and
state, yep.
State of office which he holds.
Yeah, so honor which one has by reason of rank and state of office which he holds, man. Which Yahweh Shai is what? The high priest. He's the king of kings. Okay, he's all these things, man. Okay, so we understand the office of Yahweh Shai and we value that, man. And the Lord he has given us an office and we're becoming valuable under, all right, Yahweh Shai. Okay, so now as we understand that the Lord has given us access to these treasures, okay, then these treasures are making us become a thing of value. And see, the world don't see, all right, the next kings becoming valuable right before their eyes, man. Okay, Lord will we of that number, but the Lord is the next king. The king that's going to rule with Yahweh Shai is becoming valuable right before these people's eyes, but only the elect can see it, man. To the masses, is hidden from them what the Lord is doing. Okay, and let's prove that.
You got the second Idris and that Sirach.
Yeah, let's get that Sirach 11.
It's Sirach chapter 11. We started at 1, right?
Not the GNT. We're gonna get the GNT in verse 4. We'll just get the regular. Yeah.
KJV.
Yeah.
Come on to it.
Yeah. Let's get the regular. Yeah, I think you had pulled up. Is it?
Let's second. It's chapter 10.
11.
11.
Yeah. And just start at 1. And then we'll read 4 in KJV. But you got it. You start at 1.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 1, it says, wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of low degree.
Yeah, that's us. See, wisdom has lifted up the head of them that are low degree. So wisdom is okay, is upgrading us, man. Okay? Because you're going back to, your head down. It's a state of shame, state of dishonor. Okay? But you look at those ancient kings and princes, they would walk, okay, with their heads up. Nobles walk differently with their heads straight up. There's a certain way, they were trained to walk and hold their head in a certain way. Okay, and this wisdom is doing that, is restoring their royal posture back to us, man. Okay, in the spirit, and it's in humility as well. You got it, bro. Yeah, verse 2, yeah.
Verse 2, it says, commend not a man, commend not a man for his beauty, nor abhor,
which is avoid, but the word
abhor a man for his outlaw appearance.
His outward appearance.
Yep,
go ahead.
Verse 3, the bee is little among such as fly, but her fruit is the chief of sweet things.
Yeah, so the bee, is a small creature, but it has much value. Okay, and you look at, us now in this society, men of low status in this society, all right, but these same men are men of value because Yahweh Shai is dealing, because we've tapped into, all right, this hidden treasure, okay? And you can jump to verse 4 in the
GNT.
Yeah, the GNT. And that's why I say don't commend a man for outward appearance, or don't abhor a man for his outward appearance. Go ahead.
This is the Ecclesiastes book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 4, GNT. It says, don't make fun of someone who has laid on hard times.
Yeah, who has landed on hard times. Go ahead.
And who is dressed in rags.
Yeah, who is dressed in rags. Go ahead. Should be some more.
The Lord does wonderful things that human beings never notice.
The Lord does wonderful things that human beings never notice. And you seen that even you get that in 1 Samuel 16. You see, the Lord is doing something right in front of the world, and the world can't even notice it, man. All right, He's raised up His men. He's raised up the house of David. Started at 6. Yep.
1 Samuel 16:6. It says, and it came to pass when they were come that he looked on
Eliab
and said, surely Yahweh Shema Shai's anointed is before them.
Yeah, so Samuel is going to anoint the next king, because in verse 15, you're going to read verse 7 too. So in chapter 15, Saul is rejected. Okay, so now the Lord sends Samuel to anoint, okay, another king. All right, and as he goes into the house of Jesse, which is the father of David, okay, he's seeing David's brothers, and so he's seeing David's first brother, all right, Eliab, and he looked at him, looked like a mighty man. He had this certain look, and he was like, oh, this got to be the anointed. He was judging off of outward appearance, which we just read that, So the Lord's going to show you how He judges. Go ahead.
Verse 7, it says, but Yahweh Shema Shai said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, or on the height of his statue, because I have refused him. For Yahweh Shema Shai seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but Yahweh Shema Shai looketh on the heart.
Yeah, so the mind. So here it is, the Lord, and what's making us valuable in the mind is we can have access to the hidden treasure. You see? So as we've been given access to these hidden treasures, it's increasing our value in this thing. It's increasing the value of our mind. Okay, in righteousness, man. You finna say something?
Because the scripture refers to as wisdom. Her she's more roughly paraphrasing, she's more valuable than gold and silver and rubies and everything like that. And it goes into this truth. You know, being a treasure. What's a treasure? It's usually, you know, those gems. You know, those rare gems or those rare things that's in there. But in this case here, it's considered the truth.
Yep, because the Lord is making us rare.
Mm-hmm.
That's why even when you go to Isaiah 13 and
Get some more on that. We good.
that was it, yeah, Isaiah 13. And you can start at 11 because it's a duality. Because the Lord is devaluing this age, this world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this world is being devalued while the Lord is adding value to His men. It's happened simultaneously. In Isaiah 13:11, you know, paints that picture. Go ahead.
Come on, Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 11, it says, that I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity.
Because right now, wickedness is rewarded in this society. Wickedness is glorified. Okay? But the Lord finna punish wickedness. You see? Go ahead.
And the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
And lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And this begins with Esau. Okay? But you have this whole society under Esau that's in the proud, arrogant spirit, and they're rebellious, man. And see, in this society, that's rewarded. Okay, the more you rebel against Yahweh Shema Shai, you're rewarded. You're looked at as valuable in this society, man.
Mm-hmm.
But see, the Lord finna come and punish that. And then as He's punishing the wicked, all right, what is He gonna do for His men that have, all right, stayed faithful, man?
Mm-hmm.
Read verse 12.
Verse 12, it says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man that the golden wedge.
The golden wedge of Ophir.
Golden wedge of Ophir.
Yeah, so He's making a man more precious than fine gold. What men? Those men, all right, who have tapped into the hidden treasure. So look at that word precious in the Hebrew. Okay?
You said precious?
Yeah. The word precious.
Yeah.
12. 12, yeah.
Precious.
Strong's H3365. Yakad. Yakad.
Yeah, and when you read that, we can go to it real quick. Because they usually pronounce the Greek, but they pronounce, you gotta spell out their Hebrew. All right. Which is in the Hebrew, it's Yaquar. Yep, Yaquar. All right, you got it, bro.
Con. This outline of biblical usage for you.
Yeah, just read it all the way through, yeah.
Con, this is outline of biblical usage. Start from the top. It says to esteem, be praised, be humbled, be valuable, be precious, be costly, and appraised.
Yep. So go ahead, read the rest.
Con, A qual. So you got two definitions on the A. It says to be precious, be highly valued, be esteemed, be costly.
Yep, that's the point. Okay, to become highly valued, to be all right, costly, to be prized, and that's all through Yahweh Shai. Okay, and see, the Lord is doing it right before everyone. The Lord is making His men valuable right before the masses. That's why in Jacob's trouble, it's going to be shown. The more that this place is devalued, the value of the true men of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai is going to be shown. You know, that's why we don't have to, we're not here. We don't care, all right, about not getting a certain reaction from the world. Okay, as long as we know that the Lord is dealing, we good. Because we know how this thing's in. Okay? So as this place is devalued, the value of the Lord's men is going to shine more and more, man. Because that's going to be a rare thing. A man that's stable, all right, a man that Yahweh Shai is dealing with is going to be sought out in the earth when tribulation comes, man. Okay, because that's going to be an extremely rare thing, man. Okay, to have access to those men, it's going to be a rarity. Matter of fact, read that in the NLT, verse 12.
This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12, NET. It says, I will make more people.
I will make people.
It's like you threw out, bro. I will make people scarcer than gold, more rare than fine gold of
Ophir.
Ophir.
Yeah, so more rare. And those people going back to the men of Yahweh Shai. Okay, it's gonna be scarce. You know the probability of you being around one of these men during Jacob's trouble, extremely rare, extremely scarce, man. Okay, but it comes from us having access to the hidden treasure, which is Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, and we can even go to Colossians 3.
Colossians.
Yeah, go to book Colossians 3
Over there.
and read start at verse 1.
Colossians chapter 3, starting at verse 1. It says, if ye then be risen with Hamashiach, seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High.
Yeah, so having that above way of thinking, the things that we desire. That's one thing is because this word transforms us, man. Getting back into the ruling class mentality as men. Okay, this is for peasants. This shit here is for peasants. All right, chasing after a goddamn woman, begging for a job. You gotta do what you gotta do for work. But eating these the poor quality food. Okay, this poor ass, what they call entertainment. Like everything is poor quality, man. We looking for those which are above, man. Everything is poor quality and defiled, man. Okay, we tap into this wisdom. That's why I say, he that increases in wisdom, increasing in sorrow, or pressure make a wise man mad. Because as we're developing this ruling class mentality, man, you know that what this world has given us, we understand like, nah, this for peasants, man. This ain't it. Okay, so we have an above expectation that's above anything this world has to offer us, man. You got it, bro.
Verse 2, it says, set your affection on things above, not things on the earth.
Go ahead.
Verse 3, for ye are dead, and your life is hid with Hamashiach in the Most High.
Yeah, so it said we are dead. We become dead to this world. The affections of this world, we become dead to, man. The things that used to make us get up and go in this world, we become dead to those things, and we begin to live in Yahweh Shai because we found the true treasure, man. Okay? So as we found this true treasure, all right, which is in Yahweh Shai, you see, we become dead to this world. Going back to, the man that founded the treasure in the field and go and sell it all that he had. So we began to push off. We began to uh, pretty much when we come into Yahweh Shai, what we start to do, we start to strip off the burdens of this world so it can free us up for Yahweh Shai. We begin to sell off our old life, and attain more of Yahweh Shai. Invest into this. Okay, when if you're doing stocks and trades, well, when you find one good investment that's working, that's winning, you start to pull your stocks out of all these other investments and start pouring into this one good investment that's working, man. And this is what we're doing, is we found that the treasure of Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Come.
And it said our life is hid. Going back to the word crypto. You see, so what we're becoming, this is hidden. Like we're doing this live stream, dude. Is the world watching? Us becoming valuable? Is the world tuned in? Is the masses tuned in? No, it's only a few. Okay, so what we're doing is hid. So what these men that are walking around this earth, as regular men, because we go out, we have the Clark Kent, we're just regular men, getting by in Babylon. Okay, but the world doesn't see the mighty work that the Lord is doing with particular men. Lord will we of that number. All right, you read verse 4.
Okay, come. Verse 4, when Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear.
Our life, yeah.
Come.
Yeah, our life. You say life.
Come.
Okay, come.
Yeah, I'm referring to. It says when Colossians 3 and 4. It says when Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory.
Yeah, so when Yahweh Shai, who is our life, and this is what we do now. This is why we're here. This is our purpose. Okay? When he shall appear, we're going to appear with him in glory. It's not going to be hidden anymore what the Lord's been doing this whole time. Because we're going to be changed. All right, going to be joint heirs. We're going to be back, as gods in the earth, man. We're gonna be as gods in the earth, immortals, man. So it's not gonna be hid, okay, anymore. It's gonna be revealed. First, Yahweh Shai is gonna be revealed as he come and judges this place, okay? And then we're gonna be revealed. New Jerusalem coming out those chariots, man. It's gonna be revealed, okay, this is what the Lord's been doing this whole time. This is the product of being faithful in his grace period, man. You see? So as we found the hidden treasures, we're becoming, the hidden treasures, man. If that's the point. You had something.
No, we got it.
All right, well, if that's the point, we pray that you brothers and you sisters edify once again and give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful Shalom.
Shalom.